All right, here we go. Gonna hit the St. Croix for a little bit. Taking out the new ride here. Check this thing out. Isn't that cool? That is my new gear. I will take and probably do a video in like a week once I get a little bit more, you know, practice with it, and I can, you know, get out and see what it does and maneuver with it and try it all out. And I'll let you know for sure what I think of it. I think so far I love it. There's a trolling motor for it up here. Then I gotta put all this on because I just took it off the truck. There's my trolling motor, my gear. There's my quick release thing. There's my paddle. There's the seat. It's got to be turned around because I had it that way for the drive here. There's my battery right there. There you go. This is turning out pretty cool, huh? What do you think? So far, this is a pretty cool little deal. This is going to be the new thing. Let's get out here right now and see if we can catch ourselves a smallmouth. At least one or two. It'll make it all worthwhile. I was out in this thing with Randy like yesterday, and I was out at a lake, and I didn't know how to use the remote control because there's like this remote here. It has this cool remote, you know, and so when I'm out there with Randy yesterday, all I was doing is spinning in circles because I didn't know how it worked. I mean, I was trying to do what I was trying to do with it, and I was going up and I was like hitting it to go too far to the left or right, and I was spinning too much, and I didn't really have a whole good of a time. I mean, it was okay, but I don't know, let's do better today because I don't know, I gotta catch a fish. I'm tired of not catching a fish. Yesterday I caught, let me see, a smallmouth bass, and I'm not kidding you, it was that long, and I caught a sunfish and a giant husky jerk. So I don't know, out here I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to catch, that may not happen. I'm going to use some Ned rigs out here, some Rampalas. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to probably like get into the middle of the river over here, and I'm just going to like go upstream, and I'm going to take and basically just troll and see what I can find. And then once I get up there, I'm going to just float back and get back to the truck and get out of here and head home. Hopefully put a video together, but we'll see. If not, I don't have a video for this. This will probably be the video for the week when I take it home and set it all up and show you what it does. But for now, I'm gonna get out of the water and see if I can show you what it does firsthand. So I'll see you shortly. Hey, you, how you doing? You made it to my house. I don't usually invite anybody over here. It's kind of a mess. I had to sit out here and I had to get the broom and the dustpan, and I had to get out here for probably 2 hours and just like sweep and scrub and just make it all look nice and just kind of move everything around so there's not junk everywhere. So what do you think? This is the new Nucanoe. This is the new kayak for the show. Why did I get it for? Well, the little kayak is beautiful, and I still love that little kayak. It's fantastic, and it gets me around where I need to go. It is easier to paddle this guy it is a little bit. This is like I was telling a buddy of mine the other day, this thing here is like paddling a bathtub down the river. You know, it's just like you're kind of in a big bathtub kind of paddling along. And then you gotta get these really long paddles because this guy here, with me being as big as I am, you know, and being 6'7" and like 300 pounds, I need something that's gonna get me around. I thought for sure that this would be overkill. This is 9 feet, just a little over 9 feet long. I thought that for sure it would be, you know, a little overkill because it's a little bit too long and stuff like that. But no, I was out there and it was like I shut off the trolling motor and I did a little cruise around this one island and I was paddling around, and I noticed that it was just the right height. With this, I have a height adjustment seat kit right here that I put on this. Well, Randy helped me put it on here actually. I went to his house and he helped me put the electrical system in this like 3 days ago. It was really fun. We had to like pick it up on its end and had to drill a hole on this end, and we had to put like a big nut and bolt on there, and we had tied it onto a fishing line, and we dropped it through the whole kayak from the beginning to end, and it finally popped out down there. Then we had to tie the wiring to it, and then we kind of worked together and we kind of fed it through the whole boat. So I have a plug back there in the back right back there in the back for the battery, and then I have a plug up here in the front for the motor, and it works out pretty good. This is the other thing I think is so cool. It's like I have never had a trolling motor on a boat. There we go. Look at that. We're kicking butt. Isn't this cool? This is like a first for me. I haven't had a trolling motor on a boat in years. I've been doing it all. Whoa. All right, we got to get back more out to the channel here. Whoa, where are we going? Where are we going, Skipper? All right, this is what I'm telling you about. I got to still get used to fishing it. I still got to get used to this guy a little bit. He still got his little nicks. I kind of have I am kind of like, what do you call it? I'm not the greatest pilot of this thing yet. I still got to try and just kind of, I don't know. I just got to practice, I guess. Maybe I've had kind of a modified version of it when I was younger. I had a 16-foot rowboat, and it had a 5-horse motor that I got from Montgomery Wards. It wasn't even very good, and it made a lot of noise. It was super loud, and it was super slow. I used to take it everywhere though. I got me all over the river and all the places I needed to go to. So in a sense, it really wasn't a bad motor whatsoever, but it did help me to learn some things. So in the future, I wouldn't do it again. But you know, I'm sure I'm gonna still be making mistakes. Yeah, this boat is so cool. It's 12 foot, 6 inches long. It's 40, the width is 41 inches. It's quite wide, and it's very stable. I actually stood up in this thing. I wasn't the greatest at standing up in it because I was kind of still a little wobbly myself, just trying to learn how to stand up in one of these things. That's the thing is, it's like you may see a lot of people online standing up in these things, and it's like no big deal. But when you go from sitting in a boat in a kayak where you're sitting in the bottom of it for years, and you're never standing up in it, and then you go to stand up on something like this, it's going to take a little while to get your sea legs. I mean, I stood up, I did. I wasn't really super confident of it. I just kind of stood up and whatever, but I didn't tip over. That was the greatest thing about it. I did not tip over. And when I needed to stow and to deploy my motor up here, because I don't have a system yet set up for it to where I can just do it by hand, so I ended up having to just kind of jump up there and then hit the switch and then pop the motor down every single time, which I'm gonna have to figure that out soon because I can't keep doing that forever. That's just kind of a big pain that when you want to drop the motor, I gotta get up and jump to the front and hit that pedal, flip it up, and get it in the water. I mean, it's awesome to have the motor, don't get me wrong. That's like one of the coolest thing ever, but hey, what? I don't know. Anyways, also, when I came to the boat here, let's see, I got the max weight that I can carry on this thing is 600 pounds. That's good. That's like 2 of me, so that's be perfect. It has seating for 1 or 2 people, which is cool. I have another seat in the house, so in case the wife ever wants to go fishing with me, or just take her out on a kayak and trip around like the upper St. Croix River or something. I can take her with and I can put another seat in here, which is so cool. And with her in here, I'm sure it'll balance just fine. I'm gonna have to just kind of be learning. It's like I said, it's gonna be a learning curve when it comes to that motor on the front, because when you're standing up in here and you have that guy in the front, it does make it slightly tippy. I noticed when I took it off and I went out to the water, per se, it wasn't as tippy. I mean, when I stood up on it, it was really super stable, and it maybe just slid, it bounced just a little bit to the sides, but not very much. But the minute I put that motor on there, it just kind of took away a lot of that balance, for me at least. I'm sure if you're shorter, it'd be a little bit easier for you and a little bit more stout. But for me, being 6'7" and 300 pounds, I'm kind of more top heavy. So when I'm on here, I'm like, I got these little skinny bird legs. So when I'm standing on it, I'm like, woo! And I'm just kind of doing this, kind of hope I don't fly overboard. I was telling Randy about the other day, I was thinking almost when I do this thing in the future, you know, for safety reasons for myself, is that maybe I should tie a rope onto it and tie it around my ankle. So if I do fly overboard and this thing starts shooting downstream in the current, at least I'll be able to get it back. It won't be like me swimming and going, oh geez, I can't catch it. That'd be about my luck. All right, let's get this guy here, and then we'll sit back here like this for a second. I'll try it back here. I love this canoe, guys. This new canoe, I can like turn sideways. I can do all kinds of cool things in here that I couldn't do with my old kayak. My old kayak, if I was doing this kind of stuff that I'm doing right now, I'd be swimming. For this guy here, I can do all kinds of cool things. If you're ever thinking about getting one of these things, trust me, get it. This is a sweet deal. I mean, this is so cool. I couldn't imagine. I'm so happy. And thank you very much to Rande at Go Midwest Fishing, because he helped me wire this thing out yesterday. I have some pictures I'll put in my video to show you what we were doing, but from here, I'm just gonna try this a little bit here with the Ned. If nothing happens, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go farther upstream. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we should go out this way a little bit farther, so who knows. All right, anyways, I'm gonna tell you some of the features and why I like this thing. First off, I have a battery box in the back that's hooked up to like with a USB ports and all this other kind of stuff on there. The motor, the battery itself is like, I think it's a Redodo or something like that. Rande from Go Midwest Fishing, he has links for these kind of batteries. They're beautiful, they work great. I need to get a better charger for it. I bought a charger for it. It was like a 5-amp charger, and it took 24 hours to put the initial charge on this thing. It was quite painful and quite a long time to wait. I did get a crate for the back here, so I could put all my tackle and my bait, and I could put my fishing poles on there for when I'm like going downstream doing my thing, so they're not laying all over the deck like I did the other day. I had fishing poles on the deck, and all my stuff is a mess up here. and it was a disaster. The cool thing about this seat is too is that if say I wanted to turn and switch my position here, I mean I'd have to have this not in my way though back here to do so. That the seat moves, it comes in, it goes in either direction. I can swing all the way around to the side here, and I can hang my feet off the side of the yak and into the water, or I could turn around completely to the back. All right, we'll put that back to the front. It has this cool kind of deal here too that when you bring it down, there's this cool strap over here. Well, it's on the other side actually, and it snaps down to the top of the seat. So that way there, when you drive it down the freeway or something like that, you don't have to worry about going wee, flipping over on you, flipping up and then having that big wind gust blasting on your yak when you're driving. That can't be good for your seat. Another thing that I got for this, which it's a cool toy, and I'm going to have a heck of a time trying to learn. I've been online for hours, I tell you, learning how to use this guy. I'm still not even 100% how to use them. This doesn't have the side imaging. I was kind of thinking about, well, geez, there's enough going on the screen right now, and me not really knowing what the heck I'm doing in the first place. It would be better for me to get something like this and then learn on it first, and then learn how to read all this stuff, and get it all figured out, and get it all dialed in. And then down the road, if I want to go buy an expensive one, then I'll go buy an expensive one. This one here, I think was like $550, like $600. It wasn't really that expensive, but it was expensive enough. So, but yeah, it's got, the chirp, and it's got the Mega DI. So you can on the side of in the bottom underneath it, you'll be able to see what's underneath there. You'll be able to see trees, and if there's a car down there, you'll be able to see it underneath there. That'd be kind of cool to see, huh? Anyways, yeah, gonna be a cool thing to play with. Got my net in here. I got one of these decks. The deck is kind of cool. It goes across the front up here of the yak. So I'll get this guy out here. It goes across the front of the deck up here. And if you really want to, you can mount it even. So like right up on top of it right here. And you don't have to put it on your gear pod. Now, that's what this guy is right here. This is a gear pod, and what I'm gonna do with this is I can put batteries inside of it. And then I can put like like attachments here, which I'll probably end up going to do anyways. But there's going to be like a plug there where I can plug in like an Anderson plug or something like that, or these little side the little flat plugs, and I can kind of stick them in there. I'll have a cover over it so I can keep it waterproof. And inside here I can put other batteries, that I could use for like my depth finders and stuff like that. So they're on a separate unit than the main battery. I mean, Randy told me I could use that battery if I really wanted to on this. But I thought, well, geez, why bother with it if I don't have to? And I could just run it directly to my own separate battery source. I don't have to worry about too much. All I gotta do is I gotta put the fuse on there so there's no surges and stuff like that, and that's okay. And up here, it'll keep it totally dry, and that's perfect, and that's all I want. Also, I got this cool motor. I don't know, is it called a Terrova, I think, or something like that? I don't know, I haven't got it pronounced correctly. I'm sure I'm gonna just be terrible at it, but that's just the way it goes. This motor is fantastic. I took it up, and right now I need to get it out onto a lake somewhere, and where I have phone signal, because in the last place that I went to, I didn't have a phone signal there, so I wasn't able to dial in my motor. So there's an app that goes with the motor, and
stop making your phone ring. We know you ain't got no friends.
And of course, somebody has to call me right now too. Of course. All right, where were we at? After that interruption from the phone right there. Who knows what the heck that was. But the motor is the tricky part for me here. I gotta learn this thing. Right now, I mean, the only way to steer it, is the remote control. And when I'm cruising along, one thing I found that if you're at super high speed, that's the best time to just kind of like really tap the left and right. Because if you kind of jam on it too much, you're just maybe spinning around the corner. And it's almost like you feel like you're gonna fly out of it. But since this is really stable, that's not gonna happen. But it is pretty interesting though, and kind of a surprise. I was fishing along, and I was kind of, pulling in, trolling a little bit, and I looked over to the side, and I pushed the button too much, and next thing you know, this thing spun, and I went around the corner, and almost flew out of the boat. That was real fun. But it didn't happen, and I learned my lesson, kinda. I just paddled around, and I caught a smallmouth bass on a wacky rig. Here by the side of the boat. Uh-oh, I think I got something. Oh no, I got something. For the first time today, I caught something right here. Check it out. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, wow, it's fighting pretty good. Oh, there we go, dudes. Check it out. We caught ourselves something on the wacky worm here. All right, we caught ourselves a bass. It took geez, how long? And to do it, but we did it. And that's the only thing we found that worked now. Get out of there, dude. Whoa, calm down. Okay. So anyways, we got him here. It's a beautiful bass. Look at that guy. We'll hold them there with that background. That is so cool looking. So, all right, well, we're gonna get them free. Later, Tater. Ain't nothing big, but I caught them on a wacky worm. I've never caught anything on a wacky worm before. This is pretty fun. I wasn't catching anything on anything that I had, so I figured I was, I had these wacky rigs in my bag and I've never used them before. I'm not much of a soft plastics guy, so when it comes to soft plastic, I really don't know how to use them very well. I mean, I've used them before recently, and I've just not always the best techniques because I don't really know what I'm doing. I have to watch videos constantly to kind of learn this kind of stuff. But yeah, I went out there and I took the wacky rig and I whipped it over by a tree, just 5 feet from the boat. And as soon as it sunk down in there behind that tree, a smallmouth bass came out and blasted it, and I got it. And I was like, oh, that kind of saved the trip. I tried to use a whopper plopper, and when I was reeling that back in, whoa, got one. Oh, he hit it. You guys see that? That was a heck of a smash. That was a heck of a smash. All right, I guess that's what I'm using. We're using the whopper plopper at this point. That was pretty cool. Like something blasted it on the surface, but it never came back again. So what are you gonna do? I'll put a clip of that in there somewhere about the fish, and then I'll also put the thing in about the bass. How about we just put them in there together? I'll kind of back to back it real fast. One thing I recommend too is that when you get one of these things, make sure if you get a battery that you get the right charger for it, because I had the 5 amp one. I don't know. I was a little bit cheaper. I figured, well, it's a good brand, but it's a little cheaper. It'll work. And it took 20 hours. This thing got so hot at times that I had to take an ice pack and lay an ice pack like through a towel on top of the battery pack on top of there where I was charging from, and it would get so hot that it was just like, I was afraid it was gonna burn down the house. But it didn't. It worked out fine. And also one thing too is make sure you get one of these kind of straps. I have one of these guys that hooks onto the side of the boat, where I can like turn it like this per se. I can come over here and show you. What I'll do is I'll kind of go around real quick, and I'll turn the camera on different things. You can hook this guy into the side of the kayak, so that way there I don't have to worry about it. It has these little straps on here that you can kind of go over to the side. So sorry about the lights. I'm in the garage. We don't have the best lighting in here. I try to do what I can here to make it, but what am I gonna do? All right, here's where the paddle goes. This is a really cool paddle holder. It's on the side. Even though I'm still using that paddle holder and it's gonna keep it to be safe, I'm still gonna be using one of these clips with the loop that kind of goes around the paddle itself. Why am I gonna do that for? Because I just want an extra layer of protection. Also, I wanted to say too that if you get a chance, check out this website. They didn't sponsor me or anything like that. It's called Bending Branches, and they make all kinds of paddles. And this paddle right here that they made for me, like I said, is 9 feet. And well, they didn't make it for me. I bought it from them, and that's something that they've already made. But the cool thing I like about it too is that it has that measuring on the back, the measuring tape, and it goes quite long. So up to 40 inches. So if I got a nice pike or something and I don't have my measuring tape handy, I can use this. Also, I got a seat that's with a lifter. So if you look underneath here, there's all these different plates. Randy put that in there for me, and it lifts the seat up about 3 inches from where it was before. And with me sitting up high like this, I thought for sure I was gonna be like unbalanced and I'd be all anxious. Like I'd be like, tippy back and forth. No, not whatsoever. It was just a perfect firm fit. And like I tell you, this thing is like floating in a bathtub down the river. So it's quite a bit of balance. But anyways, the motor is fantastic. I really, really like it. It's a 55 thrust motor. It just takes a 12 volt battery and that's it. Nothing more. It's pretty easy maintenance to take care of. Like I say, as long as you don't run over any fishing line, you're doing okay. And if you do, all you have to do is just take off a little nut, pull off that propeller, and it's pretty easy to fix. This thing also has Wi-Fi, so there's a Wi-Fi hookup right there. So you can run that Wi-Fi hookup, and you can run it right down to the Hummingbird and program in which way you want to go. So when you're hitting your autopilot, you can like with this thing right here, you hit the autopilot on this, and this thing here, you can set a course, and it'll take you upriver, and it'll follow that course all around all those deep areas and shallow areas and kind of keep you out of it so you don't crash and burn this thing. Because if you hit a bow mount motor into the bottom, it's going to be pretty bad because there's nowhere for it to go besides either stop the yak, throw it, like ruin a shear pin, or who knows. I don't have a lot of time. I got to keep going here because it's hot out today. It's like 90 degrees, and inside this garage is sweltering right now, and the camera's overheating. So Another thing you gotta have with you, gotta make sure you have a towel with, you know, a dry towel so you can clean off your hands between those little slimy pike and bass. Then you gotta keep your buggins in there too, because that's always important. I love this stuff. All right, but here's my little, where I keep my gear. I got my spinners and frogs, top waters, rapalas and stuff, jerkbaits, floaters, like whopper plopper stuff. You got your your measuring board in there. You got a couple places for my fishing rods. But like I say, this is the battery box. It has little hookups on there, so I can put other different things on there, USB stuff, and charge up my phone or anything else I wanted to charge up on here. The battery itself is it's hooked up to a Bluetooth accessory, so there I can always check it with my phone, and I can always tell how the battery level is on this thing no matter where I'm at. I can always just kind of Bluetooth connect, and I can tell exactly what's going on. All right, well, I'm gonna hurry up and get this done. It's really hot in here. I'm gonna put different little pieces and clips of places that I was fishing at and when I was down at that water. I'm gonna show you some of the little places when I crash and burn. I'm gonna show you like when I got the line caught in the motor and panicked. Well, I hope I got that on video, but if I did, that's gonna be in here. Yeah, it's just, I really love this thing. This is fantastic. This is the coolest boat I've ever bought as far as for kayaks go, because there's a lot of lakes that I go fishing at and you can't use motors. So what's the point of like buying a nice big boat if you're just gonna paddle around in that boat, that big old boat using a trolling motor all day, and it's just gonna burn up all your power, when you can just have something like this and then it lasts all day long. I'm telling you, that motor, I didn't even get a chance to really charge it when I first got it because, you know, I didn't have the right charger, and who knows how much power was in it, and it lasted like 2 days of fishing. So, and then I went and hooked it up and I seen that it was like at 10%. So anyways, I hooked it up, charged it up, took a whole day. So make sure you get the right charger. If you don't get the right charger, you're wasting your time. You can find them out there. Get like a 20 amp or something higher than that, because you're not going to be able to do very good with a 5 like I did. Well, anyways, I'm going to thank you very much for tuning in. There's going to be head over here. There's going to be a playlist up here. Go check out the tips, tricks, and techniques of places I fish in the driftless, things that I do, places I go, what I do when I get stuff like this. Cool gear. This is awesome. I wish they sponsored me, but of course they didn't, so I ended up having to buy it myself. But anyways, get more merch. We got merch there available. Right down below in the link here, and there's merch. You can go pick up one of these cool shirts. Hang on, hey, that's a cool shirt. Come get it. Anyways, there's the kayak. This is awesome. Let's get out there and let's make some memories. Talk to you later.